All right, folks. So disappointing game all round. I was watching Arne Slot's reaction, which raises more questions than answers. So, I mean, he said, and I'm baffled by this, but he said that he saw us playing good and very good in spots. He said that Leeds didn't really have clear cut chances. They scored 3 goals, Arne. He mentioned the tackle that led to their penalty. He also mentioned the amount of goals conceded in set pieces. I think he mentioned 11 or 12 times this season. Now, it's very deflating to look at an interview like that, and it doesn't really instill much faith in me, certainly. I mean, he said that it's not about him, it's about the players and the fans. But you have to question, what are they doing on the training ground? If we're conceding from set pieces, what are we doing to change that? I mean, he talks about control, and I mean, the whoever was interviewing him said, "Well, how do we lose control so quickly, and where it results in them, getting a goal?" And I don't really think he has the answer to that. I really don't. Like, I know Jamie Redknapp has said, I don't understand the criticism that he's getting. Yes, the performance hasn't been good of late, but, we need to back him, especially because he won the league last season. But what you have to look at is there was only 3 new signings in the starting 11. There was only 3 new signings in the starting 11. The rest of them are title winners. Only one signing came on as a sub. These are title winners, and the difference between last season and this season is night and day. Now, my question is how much longer does Arne Slot have where this credit that he has of winning the league last season, how long more are we going to accept that? How long more are we going to accept that and say, okay, well, yes, you did win the league last season, but this is what's happening this season? I mean, let's just look at the facts here. In the last 10 games, we have won 2 games. 2 games. And it's by the grace of God that there's very little in the difference between even 12th or 13th and 4th. But we should be trying to defend our title, and we're not doing that. And we're slipping further and further down the table, and any opportunity we have of breaking the top 5, we're missing out on. So is there anything that you've seen over maybe the last 14 or 15 games that would suggest that we have an answer to any of the problems that we have had this season? And I can say for certain, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. And look, you're going to get content creators, Liverpool content creators, that think that they can set the bar of, how to be a Liverpool fan, or the morals and the principles of a Liverpool fan. You get journalists, you get pundits like Jamie Redknapp that will not understand the criticism that Slot has been under. Well, the criticism is there, is justified due to the performance of the team. And yes, it's down to the players as well. Absolutely, it's down to the players. But he's not getting the results out of these players. And that falls on him. It falls on the coaches. What are we doing on the training ground to solve these problems? Because I can't see anything. I can't see improvement at all. And look, if you're on a channel for us to blow smoke up your arse and tell you that everything is okay, we're not that channel. We're not that channel. We will tell it how it is. We're not going to cheat our viewers and say, yeah, everything's fine, guys. It's just a slump. We'll be grand. We'll turn this around. What have you seen over the last 2.5 months that would suggest that we're anywhere close to turning this around. Everton are ahead of us. Leeds are in 15th or 16th. You know, yes, they had a great performance against Chelsea. But lads, come on. If I heard Slot going on about the low block, I would have torn out the rest of my hair. I really would have. I think he's stubborn in the style of football that he wants to play. And I think, again, I keep going on to what Jamie Carragher said at the first game of the season and how concerned he was with how many people he commits to going up front. And this, I saw a fucking free kick, lads. And I think at that stage it was it 2-2 or so? I don't know what score it was at that stage. But we had a free kick. We put whoever took it, I can't remember who took it, but I could hardly believe my eyes. He put his back to the Leeds goal and he passed it back to our defence, leading us to be in trouble then and Leeds to press on us where we had to, we lost possession. That is disgraceful. So there must be something on the training ground where he wants that style of football, because that's not the right decision to make. If you're chasing a game, and I said this at 2-0, I said now we need to really put in a performance and keep the foot on the pedal, the foot on the accelerator, start improving on our goal difference, and give the fans the sort of performance that they deserve, that we deserve, and start banging in the goals. And what we did is we sat back. And it's shocking how bad we've become. We're conceding goals left, right, and centre. Our goal difference is shocking. It's, I never want to call out a head coach, especially a Liverpool head coach. I never want to call them out, but and I haven't just called him out. I've called some of the players out. Kanate and Virgil have had the worst season they've ever had in a Liverpool jersey. Maka hasn't been at the races at all. Gapco is just not. It's just not at the standard that he needs to be. He's very selfish in his decision making. You can talk about Salah being selfish, but we've got Gapco, who is predictable in his play. I'm not too sure I'm not too sure if Slot knows where to play Wirtz. He was in the number 10 position and he spent the majority of the time on the left-hand side on the wing. And you have then Kirkes and you have Gapco there, and it's a traffic jam. So I really can't see us turning this around. While there's not many points between fourth spot and where we're at, and by the end of this weekend we could be in 11th. It's crazy, folks. It's absolutely crazy. It's disheartening. It's just shit. And a change needs to happen, because if a change doesn't happen and doesn't happen soon, it's going to fall back on the owners. And the owners have done everything they have in terms of the money that they've spent this season or this summer. But you can now see an argument where, well, look, we've spent all this money and this is what's happened. I don't think that they're going to be throwing money at Slot this January when he's performing like that with the money that's already been spent. And whatever about the money, he's not getting the results he should be getting out of the players, the league title winners.